Welcome to Speak Harmony, hosted by Sharon Thompson and Dr. Sharon Reid, bringing news, ideas, and community needs. We learn, we grow, we stay informed together in harmony. Our voices are heard. Speak Harmony, where knowledge meets community.
Yes,
I
yes,
can't
yes.
sing, so I stay in my lane, Sister Sharon.
Hey.
So, welcome to another episode of the Speak Harmony Show right here on APAT Media. This is where we're building harmony. We're creating peace and harmony in our community. And this episode is brought to you than none other than APAT Media, a photo and production full-service company specializing in multi-camera recording, podcasting, video, and live streaming services. You may contact APAT Media at info@apatmedia.com. That's info@apatmedia.com. And you may also call them. It's 470-657-1998. Again, it's 470-657-1998. And so, Sister Sharon, talk to me. What's going on?
All right, Sister Sharon Thompson, the connector. That's what I like to call her, folks, the sister connector, because she has this really great way of connecting people. That's her gift, putting people at the right place with the right persons. So,
Blessings.
yes. So I'm Dr. Sharon Reid, the Heart Lady, because I do everything around the heart. All right. So today, I know y'all have been waiting for it. What is the observance day for? March 31.
End of March.
Yes,
Can
we're
you
on the
believe
last
it?
day, yes.
3
Tomorrow's
months
April.
out of the year already.
The weather is warming up. Spring has sprung, so I am ready for the sunshine.
Yes.
It is National Crayon Day. And I meant to bring a pack of Crayolas so that we could show them our artistic flair, but I forgot. Anyway, it was invented in 1903, believe it or not. And in 1903, and there was Edwin Binney who created these crayons out of wax, and he was a owner for paint products, right? And made different paint pigments and also pencils for schools. And so he brought that to the forefront, and hey, you got your pack of Crayola. Do you remember playing with your crayons?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I loved playing. I loved coloring. Did
But
you
can I
stay
re-
in
can
the
I
line
remind you
or out?
something?
What's that?
So as a little girl, we had different sizes. Did you have those jumbo?
Yeah. I didn't like the jumbo.
did not
Did you
like
like the
them.
jumbo? I didn't like the
No.
jumbo. It was too thick.
It was so big. And I was like,
Yeah.
what do you do with these? And then when they brought those little ones, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Forget about those big ones.
Yeah, and now I'm grown up and I use the Crayola pencils.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the pencils too, fine too. So yeah, and any favorite color you had?
Orange.
Of course,
And
orange. That's your color.
That's my color.
That's all right.
I like the earth tones.
Yeah.
With the brown, the dark
Yeah.
browns, the orange.
Yeah.
The fall colors. Well, I'm a fall baby. What
Baby.
do you want from me?
All right,
I'm
that's it.
October, so
Hey, you get to
I
choose.
get to choose. Well, thank you.
So the other prom day is fun, and that's the other observant day is National Prom Day. All right.
Appropriate,
Yeah. So prom day was really about honoring friendships and cherishing memories, and getting ready to say goodbye to some of your school friends, or looking forward now to the next level and meeting some of those. Yeah. And so it now has been supported by Students Against Destructive Decisions, and the acronym is SADD. And this organization shares common values and, champion education for the young folks. And, its focus, interesting enough, its focus remains on traffic safety, and has been expanded to include substance abuse, suicide, depression, bullying, And violence. And the other thing that really I see hitting our schools is body image, whether it's male or female. If you notice, it used to be more girls, but boys are suffering from body image as well. So prom day, how are we going to observe that? By probably talking to your children about safety during prom time. And then have some fun as an adult and get out those crayons and get an adult coloring book and start coloring.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Did you have a prom or know about prom? Did you do a prom?
I did. I went to my
Two?
prom and I went to my boyfriend's prom.
Oh, see? We didn't have that at all. We were boring as ever back in Jamaica.
I didn't think so, yeah.
We had our graduation ceremony and we had a graduation dance or whatever. Believe it or not, we went to graduation ceremony and headed on home.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
But prom is big down here in Georgia. In New York, it was big, but down here, it's
No, the
really,
South
really
is-
big.
yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any favorite memories?
Oh,
Ooh.
a lot.
Really?
So I'm from upstate New York. So
Oh,
of course,
okay.
Really?
The prom was a big deal there as well.
Okay.
After the prom,
Yes.
everybody went to breakfast.
That's right.
That was a lot
That's
of fun.
right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you got to hear a little bit about our esteemed guest.
Yes, that's
You wanna do the
correct.
honors?
Oh, my goodness. I am so honored, so delighted to introduce this amazing guest. The Honorable Tuwanda Rush Williams. She was elected countywide as a Gwinnett County Superior Court judge following a 3-candidate race on June 18th, 2024. While running for that position, she joined the law firm of Thompson, O'Brien, Kapler, and Nasuti part-time as an off-counsel on June 5th, 2023. She has done a plethora of things, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to hit on a few more of them because she's got a resume this long. But she was also a 7-year member of the Gwinnett County Indigent Defense Governing Committee, responsible for recruiting, managing, and reviewing and approving the invoices for lawyers who represent the indigent criminal defendants.
Wow.
Prior to her employment right there in that space, the Department of Law, Tuwanda was employed with the City of Atlanta Law Department, where she practiced Section 1983 civil rights litigation. And like I told you, Title 7 ADA and ADEA employment litigation, contract and procurement litigation, personal injury, property damage, and workers' compensation defense litigation. She has handled it all. She also serves as an officer in the Gwinnett County Bar Association, which she served for the past 5 years, culminating her service as president of the organization in June 2013. She also holds the distinction as the first, let me say that again, she holds the distinction as the first African-American officer of the Gwinnett Bar Association in its 70-plus year
Wow.
history.
History in the making.
70.
We bring it here, right here to you.
Like, we celebrate that.
Flowers already for you
Totally.
today. Yes. Thank you.
She brings a whole lot to the table. But maybe about a month ago almost, or a little over a month, we saw where she did the swearing in of one of our favorite people that came through this very studio. Who was that? Sister Kat.
Cat.
Let me tell you, you are amazing, Sister dear. We don't want to bore the audience anymore. We want to welcome you to speak to the Speak Harmony podcast. Thank you for showing up and being with us today.
Well,
taking
thank
time out.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
am humbled and honored to be here.
Oh, we are
Yes.
honor. Your Honor,
do.
we are honored.
I love that. Wow. So,
Tell us about how did you, decide that you wanted to go through all these levels?
That's a very good question. So, before I was a judge, I practiced law for 32 years. And I started on the journey of a desire to become a judge way back in 2002. While I was employed with the City of Atlanta Law Department, I was a senior assistant city attorney, and I represented all of the public safety departments. And at that time, I applied for and was shortlisted for a federal magistrate judge position. I didn't get it, but I was not discouraged.
Good.
And right around that time, I decided I wanted to come and work in Gwinnett County because we lived in Gwinnett County, and I was about to commit road rage.
We feel you.
Perfectly candid.
Yes.
And so I came out to the Gwinnett Bar Association meetings to meet the lawyers who practice in Gwinnett. And I remember meeting a couple of the judges, and one of them said, "Hey, we have a vacancy coming up. You should apply. You have a tremendously impressive resume."
Wow.
So I applied, and I had an interview with the chief magistrate at that time. And he said, "I'm not going to put you on the bench out here because you don't know the players." That's what he said.
Really?
And he said, "You need to get a job in Gwinnett County so that you can meet the lawyers and meet the judges." And I said, "Well, that's what I'm trying to do." Well, that same chief judge landed my first position for me in the Gwinnett County Department of Law. So he actually helped me get the job, introduced me to the then county attorney, and I came to work in Gwinnett in 2005. Right around 2008, I started trying to become a judge again. I applied for magistrate court judge 4 times, and I would always make the short list of judges, always. And then the end result would be, well, you're not going to get it. You don't have the right political connections, even though you have an impressive background. And I probably applied every 2 to 3 years. And then in 2020, which was the last time I applied, it was the year of COVID, and I didn't get it. I just said, you know what? I'm going to rely on the Lord God. I started praying,
Yes.
and I said, "Lord, I'm asking you to enlarge my territory, if it be your will."
Yes.
I prayed for 2 years, 2 solid years. And believe me, I do everything that the Lord says do. And he said, this was about 3 o'clock in the morning, January 2023. I could hear the Lord clearly saying, "It's time to run, and I will give you the victory."
Yeah.
So if I had to title my life story, it would be "In God's Will and God's Timing," because I was trying to be on a lower court in Gwinnett County. I was trying to get an appointment to the magistrate court when the Lord said, "No, it's time to run for the highest court," which is the Superior Court of Gwinnett County. So that's how I ended up on the journey, because practicing law for 32 years, you see a lot that you don't like. And I saw judges who were impatient.
Of course.
I saw judges who were not courteous with those who came into the courtroom. I saw judges who didn't start court on time. They were not respectful of folks' time. And so I always knew I could make a difference and treat people with the respect and courtesy that they deserve. And I could move cases, right? People shouldn't wait forever to get their cases resolved. So that's how I started on the journey.
Wow.
But it was literally listening to God's voice say it's time to run. And honestly, I was in second place on election day. The person in first place was a magistrate judge. And I started to lose my faith. And my husband and my 2 best friends said, "No, God is not a man that he should lie.
That's right.
You're going to win the runoff." And that's exactly what happened.
Correct.
But it's amazing, you know. Now I'm embarrassed to say my faith was a little shaken because I was in second place. But in Georgia, in order to win an election, you have to have 50% plus 1 of the voters' votes. And so the person in first place didn't have that 50%. So, and yes, just as sure as he said.
Sharon, that is a story. A story of faith. And tenacity.
And perseverance. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, there's so much things that you said in there that you could unpack. Yeah.
I did.
But
Really.
you know what? For those folks listening and watching, they're thinking, it's not my time. It's 33 years. It's 32 years. It's been 30 years. It's been 10 years. But there's nothing like God's timing.
That's right.
His timing thwarts everything else.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
guess what? He not only gets you, because we don't serve a mediocre God.
No.
So he's not going to get you in the middle.
Nope.
He says, I'm in charge.
That's
In
right.
other words, as we say in Jamaica, we run things.
That's right.
Right? Our God runs things. So he's saying, listen, no, my dear, no, my daughter. I'm going to show them that they, in their minds, they thought they disqualified you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's right.
And I'm getting
Yeah,
emotional saying that. Because
yeah.
you know why? He's saying, I qualified you.
Yes, he did.
You don't get to decide. You don't disqualify my anointed.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's on assignment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
definitely
hear
on
that.
assignment.
You're
Yes.
on assignment because you're showing all those young folks out there that look like us
Oh, yes.
that they
yes.
can push through no matter what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's right.
No matter what they say.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I appreciate your
Yeah.
candor. I appreciate your honesty, your perseverance,
Yes.
your push.
Yeah, I mean,
Let
she
me tell you, that
did
grit.
not quit. It was a
Never.
story of don't just take no at face value, right?
That's
and so it was a story where you said, hey, I'm going to try it, I'm going to try it. And the more you were trying, maybe you didn't realize at the time was the more experience you were getting.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Right?
That's
And even from the judge who gave you your first position was a mentor to you.
Yes,
yes.
he was.
So, you know,
Yes,
in
he
so many
was.
ways, I hear that he was a mentor and he saw you.
That's right.
Right? And then you asked for it. And I think that I love about her story, Sharon, is that she waited on the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
I sure
oh, yeah.
did.
She waited
sure did.
and she continued. And so I think the lesson for those who are going, don't take the first no. It may not be the second no. It just may not be your time.
That's right.
But
And
don't get
oh.
discouraged. Stay
right.
encouraged.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stay the course.
Yes, yes.
22 years later.
22. I mean, that's a
22
testimony.
years later from
Yeah.
when I first started on the journey. But that is my message to young people. Pursue your dreams. Don't give up.
Yeah.
If it's really what you want to accomplish, you can.
Keep going.
You know,
Yeah.
but trust God and
Yeah.
seek his face.
Yeah.
You know, let him guide your decisions.
Thank you for sharing that,
Wow.
for sure.
So take us back, Judge Williams, to that place, that beginning. What inspired you to even start a career in law? Why
Yeah.
law?
Interesting. So when I was in high school, my high school had a mock trial team. And so, of course, that's when you actually pretend to be lawyers and witnesses. And you have a full trial. You study a case.
Yeah.
Usually it's a fictitious case. It's either a criminal case or a civil case. And so I signed up to be on the mock trial team. And I played the role of an attorney. And I was fascinated with just studying the problem, right? Like, okay, how do I present this? How do I present this to a jury? How would I present this to a judge?
Yes.
You know, and having to learn like what you would call basic trial objections, even though it was a mock trial. And that was what sparked my interest. So I knew when I went to college that I wanted to go to law school. I really did.
So even as a younger child, did you see yourself as a lawyer? Did you debate? Were you one of those children who was like, but why? But that's
No.
not fair.
I saw myself as a lawyer, but to be candid, I was going to take some time off between college and law school because I was pretty broke. I was a poor student. I mean, my father died when I was 13. My mother was a domestic, and I had jobs all the way through college. I worked, and I thought, I am so broke, I can't afford to go on to law school. But everybody in my family said, just keep going. Borrow the money, keep going. Because if you stop, you may not go back.
True.
And so my family encouraged me to keep going. So I went straight through all 7 years.
Yeah.
But I knew from high school that I wanted to pursue a career in law, and I never deviated.
And you never deviated. I mean, I'm just call you Judge Tenacity because you got you got that strength. You just continue on for sure, for sure. You knew
Faith
what you
walk.
wanted,
Faith
and
walk,
you kept going. So yeah, we definitely appreciate that. So now that you're a judge and you said the reasons of why you really wanted to be a judge, what things have changed since then?
Well, let me just start by saying the things that have changed in Gwinnett County. So I came to work in Gwinnett County in 2005. When I came to work in Gwinnett, there were absolutely 0 judges of color on any of the 6 courts in Gwinnett County.
Absolutely.
Not one of any color. And I'm not just talking about Black Americans.
Oh, yeah.
We had none. And there were very few women. I remember on the Superior Court, there were 8 judges. 6 of them were men. 2 were women. One thing that's really changed is that now we have 11 judges on Superior Court, and 8 of them are women, and 3 are men.
Oh wow,
And
that's
so
a switch.
as we end Women's History Month, I have to say that women are running the court.
Yes, yes.
They are run not just
Yes.
Superior Court,
Yes.
where there's 8 of us out of the 11.
Yeah.
But even on state court, court has 7 judges, and only 1 is a man.
Look at that. Look at that.
And we are, and those are the highest courts in the county. So that's one thing that has changed. In terms of my personal involvement, ascension to the bench, I am known as the prompt judge because I start court promptly on time every single day because I'm respectful of everybody's time. I also give people their day in court. I'm patient, so I listen. I give them the time that they want to tell me what's really going on. So that's one thing. I don't think most people realize the volume of cases in Gwinnett County. So each one of the 11 of us receive about 1,820 new cases a year. The vast majority of the cases that we hear are domestic relations cases, divorces, child custody, child support, visitation or parenting time. Those cases are tough. They really are.
Yeah.
I have just taken over Parent Accountability Court. That court is designed to help what I call parents who are struggling to pay child support to do that, help them secure employment, help them to get on a schedule to figure out how to make their child support. If they can't make it once a month, maybe they can break it up in small chunks.
Yeah.
Because we have a huge problem with people not paying child support for their kids.
Yeah.
And it is the law to support your child,
Yeah.
as it should be. So I think in terms of changes, the big change is how I approach my cases. Everybody deserves their day in court. I'm patient.
Yeah.
I'm courteous. Even when people, a lot of times when people come, they're defendants in major felony cases. We hear major felony cases. They'll come into court and they'll say, wow, you're the nicest judge I've ever seen. And I said, because everybody is deserving of respect.
Yes.
You know, even on our worst day, everybody has some good, right? Even on our
Absolutely.
worst day.
Yes.
And so I treat everyone with respect, regardless of whether you're there for a criminal matter and you're a defendant or a civil case, it doesn't really matter.
We're going to clone her.
Oh,
Scientists, where are you?
Wow.
Yes,
Let
yes.
me tell you, this is really encouraging.
Yeah, it
This
is.
so encouraging because the opposite is true. Where when we think, well, us as a people, we think of a courthouse, we think the worst. We're driving down the street and we see blue lights. We think the worst,
Oh, yeah.
and that should not be the case.
Yeah.
So I really honor and I respect you, Your Honor, for even saying that. I'm so serious. For even saying that everyone, barring none, deserves respect.
Absolutely.
Even if you're the perpetrator.
That's
even
right.
if you're the problem person, you still deserve some respect because we all expect that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And that can change people. That
Yeah.
can really
It can,
turn things
yes.
around because you know what? That perpetrator, not siding with them, but guess what? when you speak, they deserve a chance.
That's right. That's right.
They deserve a chance.
That's right.
And so no matter what,
Yeah.
you're giving them a chance. So I appreciate that.
Sure.
So what, as far as your leadership principles, what guides you into making difficult decisions in your courtroom when you have to make those decisions? What would you say is your guiding light?
Well, of course, my faith in God. As a Christian,
Amen.
I have a Bible on the credenza in my chambers that I have to consult on the regular. I will take a moment from the bench and go and read my Bible. My favorite scripture is Proverbs 3:5-8. Trust in the Lord with all my
thy
heart.
heart. Yes.
Lean not into my own understanding, because sometimes what I might want to do may not be the direction that God is leading me. So I would say that my faith in God and my knowledge of the Word is what guides me in making decisions. I will tell you the hardest decisions that I ever have to make are involving child custody.
Yes. Yes, I can imagine.
They are
Yeah.
very difficult because sometimes when I have divorcing parents, I have two bad parents. And what I mean by bad parents, one might be a drug addict, the other might be an alcoholic. And I'm having to make the decision as to which parent gets primary custody
Oh, wow.
of that child.
Yeah.
So those decisions are hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or conversely, when you have two really great parents and you have to decide which parent will have primary custody
Yeah.
and which parent will have visitation.
Yeah.
So those cases require a lot of prayer, a lot of consideration of a lot of factors,
Yeah.
appointing guardian ad litems
Yeah.
to help me make those decisions
Yeah.
by, meeting with all the stakeholders, school officials, medical doctors, the children, the parents,
Wow.
extended relatives. So those cases are hard.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it's the criminal cases because I hear a lot of murder trials
Right.
like all the time, but they're not, because we have juries, which are, of course, adults who are
Their
registered
peers.
voters. And so they decide a person's guilt or innocence. It's not the judge.
Wow. Yeah.
So if they convict, it's my decision as to punishment.
Yeah.
But I am not deciding whether someone is innocent or guilty.
Yeah. Sounds like a Solomon moment there that you have to take with child custody. When we come back, Judge, I'd love to just ask for educational purposes the ranks of judges, particularly in Gwinnett County, and educate our folks. What does it mean? The different types, the magistrate, the superior, and so forth.
Yes.
So we're getting ready to take a 1-minute break, folks, and please join us back with the illustrious Judge Tuwanda.
We thank you so much for joining us. Look, it's a great day, Sister Sharon. It's a wonderful day here, but we've got some community events coming up, and we wanted to let you know all about them. So mark your calendars, guys. On April 11th, we've got a financial strategy workshop, and that's going to be held the time is 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. The location is the Ronald Reagan Library in Lawrenceville. Again,
Yeah, we changed that location.
well, you know what?
Yeah, I didn't change the flyer. The location actually is 4153 Building C on Flat Shoals Parkway. So, but you can always get in contact with us for further information.
and how do they do that?
And do you have that on there?
Let's see that.
So you can always get in touch with speakharmony1@gmail.com. But in favor of April is Financial Literacy Month.
It is.
It's time for you to start understanding a little bit more how your money can work for you instead of working so hard for your money. It's time for you to understand the difference between a trust and a will. It's time for you to really start investing in yourself, life insurance, and also how you can make more money. So this workshop, we have some guest speakers, and I will be hosting the event, yours truly. And also you get a little touch of what your relationship with money. So thank you for that, Sharon.
Awesome. And then we have one last thing. So there's so many activities around town. This past weekend alone, we had on Saturday, I think there must have been about 4 or 5 events. But the Atlanta Montego Bay Sister Cities Committee presents Spring Brunch, because spring is here. Spring has sprung. And so on Sunday, April 12th, between 1 and 4 p.m. at the Morrow Center. That's the Morrow Center. It's 1180 South Lake Circle, Morrow, Georgia. And if you want more information, you may text brunch 2026 or to 53555. That's 53555. And it's Spring Brunch. So it's the Atlanta Montego Bay Sister Cities, guys. It's usually
It's really nice.
fantastic event.
Yes.
Very classy stuff.
So
put
hats.
that on your
You're supposed to wear your nice hat. I don't know which hat.
I
It's going to
don't
fit
know.
over this hat, but I'm going to try.
So, welcome back. So much for that.
Oh, so I was going to ask you about the levels.
The levels.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Absolutely. So we have 6 courts in Gwinnett County. The first one is the Recorder's Court of Gwinnett County, which is on Stone Mountain Street. Recorder's Court hears traffic offenses, everything from DUI to reckless driving to passing school buses. They also hear citation violations. So Gwinnett County has county ordinances, and when people are issued a citation for having junked vehicles or tall grass and weeds in their yard, those cases are heard in Gwinnett County Recorder's Court. So, and it's most of the people who appear in Recorder's Court do not have lawyers, but definitely that's where you would be if you receive any kind of a traffic ticket in Gwinnett
Recorder's
County.
Court. Okay.
We also have Gwinnett County Probate Court. Probate court does exactly what it sounds like: birth, marriage, death. So they issue birth certificates, they issue marriage license, death certificates. You can also go to probate court if you need a conservatorship or a guardian appointed for your loved one. They do all of that. You can also apply for a weapons carry license in probate court if you want to carry a firearm. They are also in the Gwinnett Justice and Administration Center with us. There is also Gwinnett County Magistrate Court, which you probably heard of Magistrate Court.
We have.
They handle civil cases that are valued at $15,000 and below. So if you wish to sue somebody for breach of contract or negligent construction of something, if you hire someone to do yard work and you believe they did a shoddy job, you can sue them in magistrate court as long as you are not asking for monetary damages exceeding $15,000. Magistrate court can also handle some lower level criminal matters as well. They can issue arrest warrants. They can issue temporary protective orders when someone is being stalked or being the victim of domestic violence.
Okay.
They can issue those as well. They also handle preliminary hearings for us. So they make the initial determination as to whether or not there's sufficient evidence of a crime to bind the case over to state or superior court as well. We call magistrate court the People's Court because it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Really?
And
Even on holidays?
Even on Christmas.
Wow.
So if someone is arrested at 3 o'clock in the morning at a bar, they will be in front of a magistrate judge within literally a couple hours. So we have
Interesting.
we have
Did not know
judges that
that.
work overnight at the jail. Yes, they go in at 5 p.m. and they get off at 8 a.m. So that's why we call it the People's Court.
People's Court.
Yes, and there are 7
did not
full-time
know.
magistrate judges. Many of them actually sit for us by designation, and there's a good 20-something part-time magistrate court judges. Then we also have Gwinnett County Juvenile Court.
Oh,
And you can imagine what juvenile court does.
Yeah.
They handle all cases involving juveniles ages 16 and under. So everything from your basic criminal action, they handle child neglect cases, child abandonment cases, any kind of juvenile delinquency, truancy cases where kids are not going to school. They also have concurrent jurisdiction with my court, the Superior Court, which means that they can make custody determinations as to which parent should have custody of a child. They can also issue a visitation schedule, and they can also determine appropriate child support. So oftentimes, juvenile court will work directly with my court because I may handle a divorce action, but I may transfer the case to juvenile court to appoint a guardian ad litem and make decisions regarding child custody, child support, and visitation. They can't issue divorces, but they can issue any orders involving the child itself or custody issues. And then the last two courts would be Gwinnett County State Court. Gwinnett County State Court hears misdemeanor crimes. A misdemeanor crime is a crime where the maximum punishment is 12 months in jail or a $1,000 fine or a combination of both. When you think of misdemeanor crimes, it would be things like check forgery, lower level theft by taking at a convenience store, simple assault, simple battery cases. So there are cases that are lower level crimes where the maximum punishment is a year in jail or a $1,000 fine. In terms of civil actions, state court handles multi-million-dollar products liability cases, medical malpractice cases. So if someone sues a doctor or anyone in the medical profession, those cases are heard state court. The big truck rollover cases are heard in state court as well. If someone has defective products that injure them, those cases are all heard in state court. And state court has exclusive jurisdiction over medical malpractice, products liability, and personal injury cases. Superior Court, which is the court that I was elected to, has exclusive jurisdiction over divorces, which means no other court can issue a divorce. We also have exclusive jurisdiction over adoption matters, and I do quite a bit of those. Those are private, so they're closed to the public. We also have exclusive jurisdiction over title to land cases. So if someone's suing, saying someone stole their land, or there's a dispute as to who owns the land, they come in front of me. We also can hear tax appeals. So when people complain that their property taxes are too high, they can appeal all the way up to Gwinnett Superior Court. And of course, we have exclusive jurisdiction over all felony crimes. A felony crime is a crime in which the minimum punishment, if convicted, is a year in prison up to the death penalty. We also, you're talking big crimes.
Yeah.
So your felony murder, malice murder, armed robberies, arson, burglary, child molestation cases, aggravated assault cases, all of those cases come to my court.
Wow. We were educated. I did not know a lot of that. And I see how all of them can work together. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for sharing that. Folks, I hope you really got to listen to some of that. You might definitely have to save this particular YouTube.
Yes. Go back and listen
play
to it,
that again and know. Yeah.
As you were speaking, I kept saying, let me see how much I can remember. And I'm thinking, no, I'll just have to go back and watch. Wow. So tell me one person that you can think of. I don't know who it is. Whether it's your teacher, your Sunday school teacher, your teacher at school, a neighborhood person, someone that inspired you, that you could say, you know what, this was my mentor. These were trailblazers, or I look up to these people. Who's that person that you would say was that example to you?
And should it be someone that I know or someone that I've never met?
Someone you've never met. It could be anyone. Because there are people that I've never met, probably will never meet, that have inspired me and still continue to.
Yeah. So I would definitely say Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is a United States Supreme Court Justice. And I love her and admire her because she exemplified courage under fire. She had the hardest Senate confirmation hearing
Yes,
of
I
any
remember.
judicial candidate that I have ever seen, day after day, hour after hour after hour, and she was undeterred. And she maintained her poise in the midst of very hard questions.
Yes.
People were literally questioning, her about her position on DEI and affirmative action. And she maintained her composure. So I've never met her. I'd love to meet her one day. But definitely, she inspires me. I look up to her each and every day because I know one thing that I really like about her is that we share the same complexion, right? I mean, there's still a lot of colorism going on
There is.
in the world.
is.
And so she just inspires me because she is truly the first woman of color, meaning a black woman.
Yes.
On
Just
our
say it.
US
That's
Supreme
right.
Court.
Yeah.
First.
So
The first.
definitely, definitely
She made
her.
history. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My beginnings are humble, and I think I said that earlier. My mom was a domestic. My dad died at 13, had a massive heart attack, and we never had money. So that was part and parcel of the drive
Yes.
to become well-educated, to become a lawyer, because when you're coming from nothing,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
you aspire to have,
To have something.
Yes. Yes.
yes.
So, yeah, and my sister and I were the first in our family to go to college.
Love it.
I mean, even extended family.
Wow.
And
Yes.
so,
I know that must have made your mom so proud.
it
Extremely
did.
proud.
Yeah.
It did. She talks about it every day.
That's mom for you.
Of course.
So I'd like to know what are some of the misconceptions that people have about the judicial system? Because you do hear that and you hear it on TV and you hear it all over. So
Yeah.
what can you share?
I think one main thing is that we take too long to resolve cases. We actually do a pretty good job of resolving cases efficiently. The problem is the volume of cases, right?
Okay.
Most people don't realize that their case is one of 3,000-4,000 cases that one judge may have pending. And so we really try to do a good job of getting cases resolved through mediation, arbitration. I can send any case to mediation and try to get the parties to decide among themselves how to resolve cases. Another misconception, I think, is that the justice system is not fair, right? That people who are black and brown do not get the same treatment or outcome as other people. I think that has changed a lot, particularly since on my court, we have 3 black women out of the 11 judges. And most of the people on my court are women. So women tend to be more sensitive to issues of fairness, right, and equality in their sentencing decisions. So I think there's a misconception that people that are black and brown get harsher sentences or are treated worse. I don't think that's the case today.
Really?
I do think
Today.
that was
I'm
very
glad you
much
said
the
that.
case
Yes.
Yeah.
in years past. I'll
But you
honestly
definitely
say
see a change.
100%
Really?
change.
Okay.
Yes, because again, women are at the helm, in all of our highest level court, state and superior court. And so women are more about fairness because whether you are a white woman or a black woman, you have at some point experienced some discrimination. And so I think even, women who are not women of color are much more sensitive to making decisions that are fair, that are consistent across the board, no matter who you are. Another misconception, I think, is lack of access to justice. I think that the cost of attorneys are extremely expensive, but one thing that we provide in Gwinnett County is we have an attorney from Gwinnett Legal Aid who is in our law library every single day. from 8:30
Really?
until 4:30, and anyone can walk in off the street and sign up and meet with that attorney if it's an issue involving a civil matter or any kind of family law matter at all, totally free and no charge, and get some
Really?
guidance. And we also have, even if you don't meet
Interesting.
with that attorney, we also have books available with forms that people can utilize to manage their own cases. You can even get forms online. And I say that because, quite frankly, I don't know that I could afford an attorney today. You know, when you have attorneys charging $500-600 an hour.
An hour, yeah.
Right? Who
yeah.
can afford
Who
that?
can afford that?
But we try to make it easy by providing forms to everyday people that they can use as templates and manage their own cases. I have a sorority sister right now who needed to file a divorce from her husband, deadbeat husband. And I have literally walked her through the entire process. And she's like so grateful. She's like, oh, thank you. I didn't know it was so easy to prepare my complaint. I didn't know it was so easy to serve the complaint on him.
Wow.
You know, so we try to make it easy for what we call self-represented litigants.
And can I segue for a second, because something I found out about you, Judge Tuwanda. My girlfriend is probably going to not watch it. Right, she's not watching it because she's got other obligations, but she's going to be watching it as soon as she gets done, because you said sorority, and when I sent it to her and told her that you're a member of her sorority, she was jumping all over the place. She was almost jumping through that phone. So I know that. Okay, so shout out to your sorority.
But of course, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Is there another? I don't know. I wear the red and white. And I'm an active member of the Gwinnett County Alumni chapters.
Yes.
so-
Beautiful.
And there are others that
Yeah.
sit on the board as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am.
You know, just following up with what you just said about self-representation, we all hear that, you know, as particularly on TV is where I can draw it from, is self-representation is not advised. But what I'm hearing is that you can go to the library, you can check out and educate yourself so that even if you have to represent yourself, you're more informed.
Absolutely.
And even if you have a pro bono lawyer, I'm hearing from you that it's important to go look at these forms, understand, and there is even someone there who could help you break down that jargon.
That's absolutely correct. And one issue that we see people who represent themselves constantly face is they don't know that when they file a lawsuit, they have to serve it on the defendant. And so I have what's called a no service calendar, which means that someone has filed a lawsuit against someone and nothing has happened since then. So I have to bring them in and say, okay, you haven't served the defendant. And the response is, oh, I have to do that? Yes, because he or she doesn't even know you
they
sued
sued them.
right? So I
Okay.
have no jurisdiction over them in my court until they know that they have been sued and they have an opportunity to file an answer or to appear or acknowledge service. And so, yes, I like educating people because it makes my job easier.
Of course.
Right? If I can point them to forms and say, hey, go look in this book. It's called Georgia Divorce, Alimony, and Child Custody. And it will tell you everything you need to know. Our library is open to the public every single day until 5 o'clock.
This is a wealth of information.
This is an eye-opener.
Yeah,
I've been, as much as I've
really.
been in that building to renew
Yeah.
my notary, to do different, legal matters and
Yeah.
meetings. I've never known that.
Yeah.
You got to go check it out.
We
Wow, I
will.
Next time
will.
you're at the Gwinnett
I
Justice
definitely
and
will.
Administration
I'm gonna-
Center, it's
I
in the
am.
lower level. Come through
am.
security, turn left, take the elevator down to LL, and you'll come right to it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is
You
so
know, and you know
cool.
what this is telling me, believe it or not? Our students, our children, they need to know how the law works. Just like how they need
Yeah.
to know how money works,
Yeah.
they need to be educated. Our community does.
Yeah.
And are there any workshops? I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe not. But are there any workshops? There is any other form of education that we could say, starting with the schools or in a community setting, Do we have any of those out there? I mean,
So we
we
don't
have
have
mentorship programs or anything?
we don't have workshops per se, but I participate in a lot of career days.
I know
In
you
fact,
do.
I was just at one on Friday at Alfred Elementary School.
know you
Probably
do.
at least 5 or 6 a year, and I invite entire classes to come and watch cases.
Nice.
Like take a day
Yes.
and bring your students to the courthouse.
Yes.
And let them sit in on a case
Yeah.
to see how justice really works. Right?
Nice.
What's
Yes.
involved. So that's one thing we do. We also have what's called a SMILE program in Gwinnett County that's administrated by the state court, where young people, high school students, can actually sign up to be part of that. And they actually spend the summer learning about our justice system,
Wow.
civil cases and criminal
Yeah.
cases. And again, that's administered by state court. Just recently, and one of the things that a lot of us do is we also invite students to intern with us. So for me, I have, last summer and this summer, I have a student coming to intern with me and shadow. And then I'm also bringing a law student that I can pay because that person is trained to conduct research, right? And so those are some of the things we do to educate young people. Just bring your class to the courthouse.
Yeah.
Because it's not my courtroom, it's the public's courtroom.
Yes.
So you can bring your entire class in there and you can watch a proceeding at any time. The only time the courtroom is closed is when we have an adoption. Otherwise, all other matters are open to the public. And the best way to learn about our justice system is
It's to sit in.
go.
is to
Yeah.
go
Go there. That's
and
it.
sit in.
Yeah.
So I will say this, I know we're running short on time, is recently I did a parent town hall at my church, Friendship Baptist Church, because one problem that I see is that we are not doing as good of a job as we need to do in parenting our boys.
Oof.
I have had probably 3 or 4 criminal jury trials where the defendants are accused of felony murder and they were convicted, and they committed these murders when they were 14, 15, 16 years old. And it's usually some sort of a drug deal. They attempt to rob someone, and then the person they attempt to rob has a gun. He pulls out a gun, he starts shooting, they shoot back, he ends up dead. And then they face these felony murder charges. These are young men who haven't even made it through high school. Sometimes hasn't even gone in. And so what I discovered, because I'm married to an educator, actually my husband was an assistant principal for 30 years. He's now retired, but he went back part-time. And what I see is that it starts as early as preschool, where they're getting in trouble in school, they're ending up in school suspension, or they're suspended for a period of time, for bullying or being disruptive, not doing their work, and it progresses into middle school. So that's where we tend to really lose them in middle school.
Yep.
Because they are subject to peer pressure. So the parent town hall that I did was to invite parents and grandparents or any caretakers of children, caregivers, for children between the ages of 2 years old all the way to 19 to say, let's talk about how we can be better parents. Let's talk about what's going on. Do you check your child's room? Are you looking at your child's cell phone to see who they're communicating with? How much screen time do they have? Because every time someone's convicted in my court of a crime, a murder, I have a sentencing hearing. I hear from the parents or family members of the defendant who's been convicted to decide how I'm going to punish. I also hear from the family members and friends of the victim, right? So I'll hear from the parents of the victim and the parents of the defendant. And I cannot tell you how many times a mother or a father or both will get up, and these are the parents of the defendant, and say, well, Judge, how was I supposed to know that my son had 3 guns under his bed? Well, Judge, how was I supposed to know that he went out and carjacked somebody at 4 o'clock in the morning? Well, if you don't know,
Okay.
then who will know?
That's right.
And I try to say to parents, Be parents.
Don't be afraid of them.
Right.
Yeah, I
You've
think they
gotta
think
be
that the
parents.
law is not for them, but
But I
you have to check up on your child because they are still a child
They are
living
still-
in your home.
Your
So let's
home
be real.
that you pay for.
And you pay for the phone, most likely, right?
Right.
But there's a flip side of that. And you will agree because we're really out of time. Guess what, Judge? Those students are children. They're in your house. But it may be a mother, very well be a mother, a single mom, or a single dad,
Yeah.
or a grandmother who's taking care of
True,
all
true.
those children.
Yes.
And so the realistic part of that is, I will always say it takes a
Village.
We need to get back
We know
to the
that.
village.
Absolutely.
I preach that every single day.
Yeah.
I don't have
that.
biological children, but I belong to that village proudly.
Yeah.
I am responsible for my neighbor's children.
Yeah, I was
Because
just
I
going to
see them.
say that,
I
Sharon.
see them.
Your neighbors
And
should
so-
be your best friends in the neighborhood. I mean, really.
I look
Yeah,
out for them.
absolutely.
And my neighbor is not necessarily someone who lives next door to me, but it may be that child or those children that I see when I'm driving on the street, maybe in another neighborhood, wherever. I go to the store. Once I see them, that's my responsibility. That's why God's presenting them to me. Now, how I approach it is different. We cannot handle all cases, I'm sure, and you would caution against that, correct? But
Correct.
there is a way to get around certain things.
Yeah. It's your
Putting them in
approach.
jail
Yeah.
doesn't solve the problem.
It does
Yeah.
not.
It does
And that
not.
was the title of my parent town hall, The Village.
Look at that. Absolutely.
Brought everybody in.
Yeah. Well, thank you
That's
I
so
know
much for sharing that.
I'm just going to say that
Yeah.
I know time is of the essence because we're done. But you know what? I'm going to ask Mr. P and Damien, his assistant, we've got to come to you. We've got to find time to get to you
Yeah.
somehow because there are nuggets that we can get. There's
Yeah,
stuff that we
so
can
much
share with-
more.
There's
Yes.
so much to unpack. We just really
Yeah.
scratched the mere
Right.
surface.
I
tonight.
love that.
Yeah.
I'm
And,
just
yeah.
honored to be
And I know we just have a minute, but I just still have to ask because you kept on talking about school and children, and I was wondering how you felt about civics being taught in school or not being
We
taught
need
in
it
school.
to be
Thank
taught.
you for that.
We do.
For
Yeah.
some reason, they took it out of the
Yeah.
school system, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
So the average young person has no idea about civic responsibility.
Responsibility,
or
yes.
even what civics
Is,
That's
yes.
Voting, the importance of
No clue.
voting,
Yes.
the election process, right. What the legislature does. They don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah.
It needs to be back
It
in
needs to be
schools.
back in school. I would love to.
What's that last message? Because we're out of time. We really are. And it's painful.
Our producer said we got about 3 more minutes.
Oh, I love it. That's why I love it. That's why APAT Media. That's why I love APAT Media.
Y'all are awesome.
Tell the listeners, please, one little message, about the justice, the fairness, the civic responsibility. Just give one last word.
The last word is to be engaged. And what I mean by that is do what you can
Yes.
from where you are. If you can encourage young people to learn about civic responsibility, if you can bring some folks to the courthouse, we're open 5 days a week. You can sit in anybody's courtroom at any time. There is no limitation except adoption cases.
I didn't know that though. I didn't know
Right.
you
No,
could
at
sit
all.
in any. And
Right.
from what time to what time is that usually?
So generally, courts open from 9 a.m. until 5 or 6, depending upon how late. But you can walk into any matter, civil or criminal, and watch and educate yourself, but also encourage our young people to get involved, right?
Yeah.
And educate them on some things they may not know about. Sexting is a crime. They don't often know that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Making sure they choose the right friends because their friends can get them in trouble.
Yeah.
Accessory to the crime. You think you're going joyriding with a friend, the friend goes in and robs a convenience store.
Yep.
You're both going to be charged
Yep.
with
Yes.
armed robbery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do what you can to educate young people in particular and maybe even be a mentor.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
done a
And
lot
I'm
of
going to advocate for civics back in the schools.
We have to, but I thank you. I just want to say thank
you.
you so much.
Yes.
I
Thank
really
you all.
appreciate
Yeah,
you.
we learned so much. Judge Tuwanda Rush Williams I feel like there has to be a part 2 coming up.
Oh, I
I mean, I'm just
Anytime.
definitely engaged and learned so much from you. So again, thank you so much for coming by. And we know it's hard to balance, time and work, but you took the time. It also speaks to really the type of judge that she is. So we are definitely honored. Yes. So as we close, once again, we appreciate APAT Media Group, which again is a full service media company, for sponsoring this show. And we're going to invite you back. Join us next Tuesday right here live on YouTube from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we continue learning from those who inspire us and those who take action and purpose. So, till then, Speak Harmony family, keep speaking harmony into your life.
Yes.
And don't forget to what, Sharon?
Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. See you next week. Same time, same place.
Same place.
Thank you for joining.
They talk about health, they talk about care, sharing tips, they got us without a care. Thank you for listening, you're the best. See you next week to keep the best. Together we learn, together we grow. Every lesson, every hour we know. See you next week with more stories to tell. More